So before we begin, this is I just want to tell you thank you. Without the invite years ago, I would be in the Dominican Republic. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate you, brother. So give us some history about yourself, Brother Carlos. Tell us more about yourself.
Well, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. Spent about 7 years there, and my mother decided to go to Louisiana, so we went to Louisiana and stayed there. Where I went to Grambling State University in Louisiana.
Right.
From there, I went to Atlanta and had a 30-year career in fire safety, public safety. I mean, I have 3 beautiful daughters, and I was married for 14 years, and we decided to go our separate ways after our daughter got older because I wanted to live in the Dominican Republic and she didn't want to live in the United States.
Right.
So after retiring from Atlanta Fire Department, I decided to retire in the Dominican Republic after I met this beautiful woman named Isabel Paredes D. Wiley. So here I am with her. We've been married about 7 years from now.
Okay.
And living in the Dominican Republic is so much different than living in the United States.
Yeah. So could you give some examples on comparing living in the States versus living in the Dominican Republic?
Living in the States, it requires, I say, a lot of patience because it's a stressful place to live. It requires you to work
until you die.
Until you die. Until you die.
Don't forget that.
And it requires you to tolerate racism.
Right.
And that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to get away from.
Yeah.
Is racism that is in the United States.
Right.
Compared to here, everybody is the same, regardless of your nationality, whether you color shade, language. Right. Everybody is their own individual without the racism.
Right.
I got rid tired of the fast foods. There's a lot of fast food in the United States, not compared to DR. Well, some parts of the Dominican Republic there's fast food,
but mostly that's because of the I'm gonna say the major cities.
Yeah, the major cities
because they have tourists coming in and out, so
exactly.
They gotta make something familiar for them. That's my opinion. But go ahead.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Santo Domingo has most of the fast food restaurants that the United States have.
Right.
And those things I wanted to move away from. I wanted to have more of a natural diet, whether if it's farm-raised rice or farm-raised vegetables, farm-raised cows or chicken or what have you.
Right.
Not steroid this and steroid that.
Right.
And that is an advantage here in the Dominican Republic. They have natural fruits, natural vegetables. Everything is mostly natural compared to HMOs and
GMOs.
GMOs. Same.
Steroids.
Steroids.
And hormones.
And hormones, exactly.
Right.
And preservatives and additives and all of that.
And all that stuff, right.
So,
which is making us, as Americans, the biggest, fattest people on planet Earth.
Yeah. And truth be told, that America has a terrible diet,
right,
compared to the people here in the Dominican Republic,
right,
or any other island.
Yeah, any other so-called third world country, but
exactly.
They live longer,
right,
and they eat better.
And I love the sun,
right.
Not just 7 or 8 months out of the year. Right. I like it all the years.
365.
365 days.
Right.
And that's an advantage here in this country also, that the United States, as we speak, is January the what? 28, 29?
Yeah, no, the day is the 26th.
Okay, 26, and it is freezing in Atlanta.
Right. Right. They wearing coats right now.
Exactly.
And we got on short sleeves and.
Right. And we sitting out on the patio right here.
Right. Right. Patio and for those who can't see, I'm just letting you know he got plantain trees and they got bananas on them. They got plantain fruits on them, which is, you guys may think they're bananas, but they're not bananas, they're plantains.
They're plantains.
Right.
Plantain trees, lemon trees,
right.
Orange trees,
right.
Banana trees. We have it here.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we are missing in the United States.
Yeah. I think we're so disconnected from nature in the United States.
Yeah.
We done got so away. We want everything prepackaged.
Prepackaged, ready to deliver, ready to eat.
We want that microwave, I call it the microwave mentality. They want everything fast and quick and easy.
Exactly.
You know?
Fast food, fast cars, fast driving.
Yeah.
Fast lunch break.
Right.
Fast death. Fast death. Exactly. Fast death. You're exactly right.
Fast death. So what inspired you to, out of all the places that you could have went as a retired person, what inspired you to come to the Dominican Republic?
Well, I looked at 3 places. I looked at Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. I wanted to go, Belize was an option. Belize was an option. And the Dominican Republic was my 3rd option, but it became my 1st option.
Right.
Because the advantage of living here is not that far from the United States.
Right.
And just in case I have to get back for emergency reasons to see a granddaughter or a grandson or even my daughters,
right,
I can get there very quickly.
Right. It's similar to the same amount of time as flying into 2 or 3 states over. So
exactly. Hour and a half, I'm in Miami.
Right.
You know, or I'm in New York. You know. So I'm somewhere in the United States.
Right.
Compared to living in Colombia, it's going to take me every bit of 4 or 5 hours to get to the United States. And Belize, I think it's about the same also.
Yeah. Need a light, brother?
Yeah. And we're sitting here smoking on
some nice hand-rolled, fresh cigars.
Exactly. Dominican cigars.
Right. I brought some wine too, by the way.
Okay. And where were we? The question.
We were just talking about just the lifestyles, and then I was saying what brought you here out of the places that you chose out of the three countries. You narrowed it down to 3, and it brought you here because you was closer to living where you can get to your family in case of emergency.
Exactly. That was the distance from the Dominican Republic compared to the other countries like Colombia, Belize,
right,
etc. It was one of the most important reasons that I chose the Dominican Republic.
Right.
And once I got to know the Dominican people, that enhanced my decision of living here because the people here are very friendly.
They are very friendly.
Yeah, very friendly, homely people.
They homely people.
Something that we used to have as African Americans.
When we were younger. We saw it a lot.
Yeah, you know, a community raising a child was very important then.
Yeah.
But it's still instilled in this country today, the Dominican Republic. You know, the community know who you are. You know, and if you do something wrong, the community is going to tell your parents. So that's another thing that I like about this country.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it too, man. It's I have no regrets being here. Let me say that. So what type of adjustments that you had to make when you came here? Coming from the States over here.
Wow. Even though this country is beautiful.
Yeah.
The people are beautiful.
Yeah.
The government is a whole different type of subject.
It's a whole different entity.
But the adjustment that I had to make was first the customer service. That was a big adjustment for me because I expected customer service the way it is given in the United States.
Right.
You know,
Right.
with you paying your bill, there's courtesy, whatever. Welcome to McDonald's, welcome to Burger King.
Right.
You don't get none of that stuff.
Yeah, you don't get the verbal greetings.
No, you don't get the verbal greeting. You don't get you get the smiles, but you don't get the customer service that you're
accustomed
to a customer. Exactly.
Right.
Another thing is the driving. The driving is very stressful.
It's very stressful. I try to tell my wife. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna calm down today. As soon as I say it, somebody cross me out like in the middle of the street. I'm like,
it doesn't work. Believe me.
And I told my wife, I said, you know what, baby? I said, let me tell you something. I cannot get used to stupidity.
Me and stupid people.
I can't. I'm not gonna dumb it down.
I don't get along with stupid people. That's how far I done took. You know.
Yeah, man. So,
but it's the driving is very stressful, and like I said, you can leave the door and leave out the house and be patient and say, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna slow it down. And there's always that moment.
Right.
A motorcycle pulls in front of you.
Yeah.
A car comes to your lane and almost hit you on the side.
Yeah, just almost about to scrape the paint off.
Yeah, you know.
They don't never stay in the lane.
Never stay in the lane.
You over here?
Or they ride in 2 lanes, or they ride in the middle lane, taking up 2 lanes. So
Yeah.
driving is a big thing.
Yes, it's stressful. But other than that, though, if that's the only thing I have to deal with, I'll take it.
Right, exactly.
I'll take it.
What else could I say? I was kind of disappointed in the food, the taste of the food.
Really?
The Dominicans don't like spicy food.
No, they don't like spicy food.
And I'm not surprised if they are the only island
They probably is on the island though.
that doesn't like spicy food, because I know the Cubans love spicy food.
Right. Jamaicans love spicy.
Jamaicans love spicy food. Belize cooks with spicy food. Haitians love spicy food.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they got that from.
And
but the food is great. It's just
the food
not
is great.
spicy.
It just they don't do spice
Right.
at all.
Because my wife,
At all.
she's a tremendous cook.
Right.
She can cook very good. Now she cooks the way I like it.
Right.
Spicy.
Right.
She makes things spicy now.
Right. And my wife, she don't like spice at all. Can't take it. She tried, but it just, even if I just put a dab on it,
Really?
yeah, she's done. You know, she's done.
Wow.
But, I'm the only one eating hot sauce in my house.
Really? And I go through hot sauce and cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
I gotta have it. You know, I use cayenne and black pepper together, and make the. I'm putting hot sauce on my eggs, so that's how I gotta have the spice. You know, coming from New Orleans, also in Louisiana, you got to be adjusted to the spicy stuff.
Yeah. So even though we're both married men, we're not blind. How would you compare the woman here as far as comparing to the Western world, particularly the sisters in America versus here? How would you compare that? Let's get down to it.
Yeah, might well tell the truth since we're
We might
already
as well
here.
tell the truth.
The women here is like night and day.
Right.
Dominican women compared to African American women.
Right.
I think Dominican women, most Dominican women.
Right. Not all, because you never say all.
You can't say all.
Right.
Most are
Right.
very humble, pretty much submissive.
Yep.
I think they were actually raised to if it's a female, to be a mother.
Right.
If it's
take pride in being a mother.
Take pride in being a mother.
Take pride in having a family of her own.
Exactly. Take pride in it, and we'll take care of the children, regardless if the father's there. They still the same responsibilities and want to be a mother.
Right.
Not saying that the African American woman doesn't do that, but
Right.
she doesn't take. I don't see the pride that she take in being a wife.
Right. And that's I think they're getting away from that in the States where, you know, they quick to say that there ain't no men out there. It's the men out there, but the men is not quick to jump into situations. One, I would say, because the way the laws are one-sided, because, you know, if they come to an agreement where they're no longer together, then why should a man give somebody half of his life earnings?
Right.
Just because she chose not to be together, or even if he chose not to.
Even if he chose.
I don't think somebody should take half of anything. You know, I do believe that somebody, you know, there's a successful person that she was in when he was at the beginning level. I do believe she gets something out of it. Right. You know, but to take half.
To take half and don't bring in nothing.
And we talk about America now, where people work, the working man. So if you take half of what he got, he's screwed. That's one end why some men don't want to get involved too.
Well, there's a wave of African American men. They are beginning to explore the world that God gave us, and they are more in tune to dating.
Right.
Outside the African American woman.
Right.
And they are seeing a difference. And I see it every day.
Yeah.
When I riding in Puerto Plata.
Yeah, we see it every day.
See it every day that there's a lot of people living here, moving here.
Yeah.
Taking vacations here.
Yeah.
And coming back.
Right.
You know, and like our co-worker today, he said he got to get back in 3 months.
Yeah, he said he's coming back in 3 months. That's right.
So it must have been something impressive about something that he's missing.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about it, is we are missing something.
Right. I think too, and I think, in my opinion, I think that a lot of sisters have adopted Western, feminism without them realizing that they adopted it.
Right.
Those behaviors.
Right.
I can do it on my own. I'm independent.
Right. Feminism and emasculating
the man
at the same time.
And they don't even realize. And they don't understand. Okay, if some of these females who doing it, they're not even looking, saying, "Well, damn, I got a son.
Exactly.
I have a brother.
I got a brother.
I have a nephew." They're not even thinking about that. It's all about them.
None of that is taken into consideration.
They're not even thinking about that.
What they're thinking about
is themselves.
Is themselves, and especially if they are married, they're thinking about, what can I leave with?
Right.
And that is the biggest problem, because they know that the government, and it may be changing a little
bit. It's one side. No, it hasn't changed. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You said the government.
Yes, the government, they realize that the government is going to protect them.
Right.
But the sisters don't realize that it has always been a war between the ex-slave and the master. And that might be kind of blunt, but we just in another modern time, you know. Even though we are free, they don't realize that this war is still going on.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that spirit of the old civil rights women has disappeared in this generation.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
And when he say the war, for those that don't understand, he's talking about the war against particularly the black family unit.
Right.
You know, it has become the norm now to be a single parent.
Exactly.
To be a single mom.
It's normal.
And they walk around with a badge of honor.
Right.
You know.
With honor.
And,
exactly.
And then we wonder why. I was just telling somebody earlier about an event where somebody just lost their child in a damn drive-by in Atlanta, where we
really
live. Yeah. And I'm saying, but all this crime, if you look at all these major cities right now, a lot of these young men are out here joining gangs or whatever. Most of them come from what? Broken families.
Broken families.
You see?
The mother trying to raise a child.
I can do it by myself.
I don't
need you.
I don't need you.
Or mad because he moved on, or mad because who he with. It bothers you because
or mad because it just didn't work.
It just didn't work. And in some cases, especially younger couples, the guy never planned on being with you anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a thing.
It's a totally different game right there.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
changed.
To saying all that to say this is why a lot of young black males are walking around clueless and don't have value of life while they out here doing all these crazy things.
Right.
You know.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So, how's retirement been treating you, brother?
Retirement is lovely. I'm gonna tell you, working in public safety, it's not gonna make you rich, but it's gonna give you security. Whether you're working for a state or city, there's a benefit for working 25 to 30 years. That corporate America is, people that's working for corporate America is not seeing.
No.
They're not seeing the benefit.
No.
And that's why you and I are retired right now.
Right.
After 26 and 30 years of service with
Right.
the Atlanta Fire Department.
Right.
That most of our friends at our age,
They still gotta go.
they
still
have
gotta go to work.
They still have to go to
punch the
work.
clock.
They still got to go to work. They got
Right.
to get up in the morning.
Right.
And when you start getting around in your 40, from 48 to 45, 50, you start thinking and getting tired of the BS.
Yeah.
Playing this system.
Your tolerance level get very low.
Very low,
of the
very
BS.
short.
Right.
You feel that you can't be supervised no more. You know, you're
Yeah.
tired of being supervised.
Tired of somebody trying to tell you what to do and you 50-something years old.
You're 50-something years old.
You know, you're like, hold up, man. And then,
Especially when you are more intelligent
then the
than
person
your
that's in
supervisor.
charge. Right.
That was the problem that I had.
I think that's the problem. I know that. I ain't gonna think. I know that's the problem that I had. I mean, but and I had to disconnect. I had to disconnect mentally to get myself prepared here. Even though I was at work in the physical, my mind wasn't there. I was like, okay,
Right.
I just know what I gotta do
Right.
just to do it. And knowing that my mind was here, I didn't let them get to me as much.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I knew my bottom line that, look, I'm about to leave these suckers out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play the game just
I'm
long
playing
enough
the
to
game,
get out of here.
But I got a plan, you know.
Right.
I got a plan. Matter of fact, I'm gonna escape a little bit early. You know, and it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth it. You know?
But the main thing is that we're able to experience many endeavors in the Dominican Republic
Absolutely.
that most people
would never.
never experience in their life.
Right.
It's all up here. Most people, I remember when our ancestors was trying to leave America,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
they wanted to leave
They wanted to leave.
at a certain time.
Yeah. Shit, they wanted to leave from the time they got there.
Right, exactly. and we've been so brainwashed right now, instead of trying to leave, we trying to stay. You can't even kick us out of the state. You can't.
Well, let me tell you what happened though.
You can't even get a. Some people don't even want a passport. They want to know why you trying to leave.
But we have been programmed so bad that, you know, when I say we, I'm just saying poor people, because you got, you know, even white, you got some poor white people that don't know this one here, that they would sell you. They sold us on the thing that they would make you think that America is the only thing
Right.
that's could go well. That's the only place to be.
That's the only place to be.
And
God bless America.
And
That's
even
what they say.
though we're talking about black expats, but white America leave America all the time.
White America been leaving America for over 75 years.
Right. So we just new to this party.
You know,
we're new to this party, and that's the purpose to just hopefully this video can whoever being inspired to want to leave, because again, it ain't for everybody either. I said that too.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, because if you don't have an open mind, you need to stay there.
Right. and be brainwashed some more.
And be brainwashed some more.
Because
You know.
you're not ready. Everybody won't be ready.
Yeah, mentally, you have to get you got to get yourself mentally in shape.
Mentally in shape.
Right.
It reminds me of the stories that's in the Bible when, and regardless of what religion you believe in,
Right.
I'm just talking about the story in the Bible.
Right.
Okay. When Moses wanted to make an exodus,
Right.
and you had people like, where are we going?
Right.
We have no food. You know, who's gonna take care of us?
Right.
And even though they exited from Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
you still had people complaining because there was no food, there wasn't this and wasn't that. And the bottom line is that the Most High, whoever you call him, provided for these people.
Right.
And that's how you have to take your mind that wherever I am
Right.
in life.
I met a guy today in Puerto Plata, and he was like, "Hey man, I don't have no pension, but I knew I was gonna leave the United States."
Exactly.
So he said, "But I prepared." He said, "I knew what I needed to do to get up out of that."
Right.
And he said, "I've been gone now for 10 years."
10 years. 10
You know.
years.
And he said he was married, got a divorce, and he said, "Hey man," and he said he didn't look back. You know.
Well, I think that's when men that has been married and divorced and they realize that it's the same old story,
Yeah.
regardless of who you
Just
give
different
it.
name.
It's just a different name,
Same.
a different year.
Yeah.
You know,
Different characters,
different
same
character,
story.
but the same story. And most of us that are over here living and willing to explore have those scars mentally
Yeah.
embedded in their mind,
Embedded in our mind.
and they're looking for a new
Right.
adventure, you know, with a different personality
Right.
and a different character and a different love.
Right.
And that's why we're here.
And then so you have those people who would say, "Oh man, y'all just want a woman to cater to y'all and be submissive to y'all, and y'all don't love sisters." How would you address that, brother?
You know what I say? I say, brother, obviously you don't know your history because I am dating a sister.
That's right.
She has the same complexion as me.
Right.
You know, I speak English, I speak a little Spanish,
Right.
and she speaks Spanish.
Right.
The same ship was dropped off.
Right.
Dealing with the same man, Christopher Columbus.
Right.
You know, he's an explorer. So
Right.
wherever he went, he dropped us off.
Yeah.
And most of us was already there.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Because you already had some Africans who was already interacting with natives anyway.
right, natives anyway. So
That and it is recorded, but we'll talk about that.
yeah, that's a whole
day.
nother story. Whole nother story. But
Right.
you know, that's what I tell the brothers that are stuck, have their minds stuck in the United States. Is
Yeah,
that
because they quick to say,
you,
when
nobody's
it
belittling
got
the
to be
sister.
in the United States,
Right.
You know, and that's not necessarily true either.
No, and we're not. I'm not belittling the sister
No,
because
no,
I
no,
have 3 daughters.
no, right.
You know, and
I mean, but we come from black people. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
All
So when
of us.
people say that,
right.
it's ridiculous. And even I can go as far to say, because I know my history even further, that every nationality comes from black people. So
Everyone
on that level,
on that level,
on a scientific level,
Right.
we all African.
we all African. Exactly.
I can go as far as say that because human essence came out of Africa.
Exactly. And even the white American knows that.
And they know that.
They begin to know that.
So-
They won't
so-
tell you that, but they
Well, you know, and that's a whole other subject too. So,
Uh-huh.
And that was another reason why they wanted to keep separation too, because again we have the most powerful gene. But that's a whole other
That's
subject.
a whole
too.
nother subject.
You know, but yeah, man. So when people say that, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this. I remember I went to a class reunion, and this is when I just started dating my wife. Well, no, I think I was married? No, I wasn't married. I was married. No, I was dating my wife. And then one girl say, "Yeah, I bet she treats you like a king," but said it like in a bad way. I'm like, what's wrong? And in my mind, I'm like, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with treating your companion
But the
as such. Because guess what? Guess what? Your wife getting treated like a queen.
Exactly.
And my wife getting treated like a queen.
Exactly.
So guess what? We both getting treated with royalty.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with royalty.
And I think that in the society which we come from, which is the States, it's not. They don't even they think that doing little stuff like simple stuff for a man is a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
You know, and submissive is such a bad word.
It's such a bad word.
You know, when in actuality, when the woman submit to you, the man also submit to her.
Right.
Because he's submitting his protection, his resources, you know, his vision.
Right.
And
Exactly.
she get on board and everything is in harmony.
It's in harmony.
And then even for the people who are religious, they don't practice what they preach.
No.
Now, if it's the divine order with God, man, woman, and child, then how you keep going without the man? How you keep skipping that part?
That's America.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so when they do that, you know, it's like you contradicted within yourself. But I blame.
But the U.S. is the melting pot.
Yeah, it is a melting pot.
It's the melting pot for all nationalities.
Absolutely. It's a whole bunch of different cultures came there
different cultures
to make it. And
looking for an invention, looking for a stimulation in the mind because they didn't get it where they were. Either they were oppressed.
Yeah, they was being oppressed.
Right.
So that's what motivated them to leave.
To leave.
And, you know, but I look at America, which I love. We are Americans. I love where I'm from. I just don't like the treatment of how we be treated as a whole,
right?
As people of color,
right?
As black people.
And that's one of the reasons I told you why I left. Racism.
Right. And I had this in my mind before I met my wife. You know, and me and you was talking.
Right.
And you knew I was going back and forth to Africa.
Exactly.
And then you say, hey man, come here with me.
Right.
And I say, man, it got an African feel, but it got that little Spanish feel to it. You know what I mean?
Chicky, chicky, chicky.
Yes, sir. So I fell in love with just the climate, the weather. I'm like, yeah, I can deal with this. And you don't have to travel as far.
Right. And it's home away from home.
It's home away.
If we still want to say United States is home.
Right.
You know, I'll actually say that it's home away from home.
Right.
But I'm home here most of the time.
Yeah.
So
in closing, what message would you give to black men who are thinking about traveling, having traveled, or what type of message would you like to give them if you have any?
To give any
advice,
any brother that wants to change his life or his mindset from where he is, and that's where he is, meaning that living in America.
Right.
I think he needs to open his mind and accept the fact that we have been explorers from thousands of years, you know, hundreds of years, I should say.
Yes.
And
no, thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, tens of thousands of years.
Tens of thousands of years.
Let the truth be told.
Yeah, let the truth be told. Tens of thousands of years.
Right.
And if he doesn't accept the fact that he's more than just being an American,
right,
then he will always be oppressed in the mind. So the first thing I would think that he has to open his mind to accept that that the world is more than living in America.
Right. It's bigger. The world is bigger than America.
And the world was meant for him to explore.
The world is meant for him to explore.
You know.
Yeah.
If he go ahead and accept that, then I think that would give him the encouragement to go to other places, travel to other places,
see new things,
regardless of wherever you want to be. It doesn't have to be the Dominican Republic.
Right. It doesn't have to be here. Right. Because you got brothers in Cuba, you got brothers in Philippines, you got brothers in Thailand.
Everywhere.
You got brothers in Africa. You got brothers in Africa who left the United States. Black Americans living in Africa.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
And that's mostly what I can. That's the best advice that I can give. You know, preparation. Don't wait on repatriation.
Right.
Reparation.
Reparation, because
Don't wait on that. That ain't coming.
It ain't coming. It is not coming.
That is not coming. And if you're unhappy,
Right.
with where you are in your present state of mind and in your physical self, I think you should go ahead and start traveling and preparing for another life.
Right.
You know, because that's basically what you have to make up your mind and say, this is where I want to go, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Not just take a vacation and stay in a resort.
Right.
And you know.
Right. And do your due diligence. You know, do some research. Don't just do it just because you see Pretty Woman and you just want to just, you know,
go there for
all
3 days.
sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
Because when you travel this world, you're gonna see beautiful women all over the globe. I don't care where you go.
Yep.
They everywhere.
They everywhere.
It ain't just one geographical location. That's a small mind thing, a way of thinking too. Yeah. But do your due diligence, I would say, because and then that way you'll know the currency.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely need to learn the currency.
Right.
You definitely need to learn the language if there's a different language.
Right. If there's a different language, adjust to the culture.
Adjust to the culture. Don't try to change the culture because they ain't changing for you.
Mm-mm.
You're gonna have to adjust to it.
Right.
When you come to the country, other people's country too, I want to say that we are visitors.
We are visitors.
And we have to hold ourselves accountable and hold ourselves in an upright behavior too, because again, even though we're here, we still represent black men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times that's just what I would like to say, man. And I just want to again thank you again for the interview. I appreciate you. You my big brother. I told you when you first came. I said you my Dominican brother from now on. You know.
Right.
I was hoping. I said, well, I hope you accept me because I already claimed it.
Well, we
but
here,
man,
bro.
I appreciate you, man, and you've been very instrumental in me, and I listen to your advice. You know, some advice I take, so I know, but that's me.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
And when I come to you with situations, I always, I pick the phone up and you listen to me. So
Right.
I appreciate that. You know, I was planning to get here. I've been wanting to get here. So now I'm here officially, permanently.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So yeah, on that note, man, I appreciate it.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, man. Peace out.